What's up, y'all? It's Leonard with Zen Holistic Fitness, and in this video, I'm going to show you everything I know about training planche. I'm going to take you from the very beginning, when you can't even tuck planche, and I'm going to show you how to unlock tuck planche, how to strengthen it, how to progress to the advanced tuck. I'm going to show you a bunch of planche progressions. I guarantee there are at least a few progressions in here that you've never heard of, and I guarantee you there are form cues and form tips that you've never heard of. So get your pen and pad out. Get your notebook out. You're going to want to watch this video all the way till the end to learn everything you can learn about training planche as effectively as possible. So with that being said, let's jump right in to the beginning of this video.
The full planche is arguably the most iconic strength hold you can do in calisthenics. And the reason I'll be using resistance bands to do assisted full planche holds rather than unassisted tuck planche holds is because when you're in a tuck planche, imagine this is your torso. When you're in a tuck planche, the joint angle with your shoulders might be about here, but when you're in a full planche, the joint angle might be about here. So by emulating the full planche hold and using assistance to make it easier, such as a rubber band under your center of mass, it allows for a more accurate shoulder joint angle, which is going to contribute to greater joint strength, specificity, and allow for a better carryover to the full planche hold. So the beginning of the workout, we're going to do 3 sets of full planche assisted holds using the resistance band. The goal is to use good protraction in the shoulders, good angles with the core, good core engagement, good posterior pelvic tilt, and go 1 to 2 seconds shy of failure while maintaining good form. Here we go. After our first set, we're going to rest 2 to 3 minutes. Repeat. I've rested the 2 to 3 minutes. Now I'm going to begin my second set. After reviewing the footage, I noticed my protraction could have been a little bit stronger in my scapula and in my shoulders. So for the second set, I'm going to really focus on protraction and see if I can improve my form a bit. The goal is to protract and depress your shoulders. So you want to imagine your shoulder joint coming forward and down, but mainly focusing on forward protraction. Man, that's tough. For the final set of the band-assisted full planche holds, I moved the camera angle from the side so you can see it from a different perspective. Let's see if we can protract even harder and hold even with finger form. Alright, here we go. For the next exercise, I'm going to do pseudo planche lean push-ups. I'm going to skim my head against the wall to ensure I maintain the same degree of lean, more or less the same degree of lean throughout the entire movement. For this exercise, I'm going to really emphasize on protraction as well, but also proper posterior pelvic tilt, and really try and drill the proper technique with a less intense exercise. As well, I'm going to take it 1 to 2 reps shy of failure. If you start in a plank position, protract, posterior pelvic tilt, core engaged, glute engaged. Do a link. And then begin the push-ups. Really protract the top. We're going to stop 5 reps. Rest as needed, at least 2 to 3 minutes, and repeat for 3 sets total. All right, we're going for set number 2 of the pseudo planche push-ups. we're going to try, again, focusing on contraction and posterior pelvic tilt. We're also going to try and ensure that my hips and my shoulders are the same height to ensure I have a flat, round torso that is parallel with the ground throughout the entire portion of the movement. Here we go. Pseudo planche lean push-ups with the wall to maintain the same lean distance in the same joint angle. Contract, glutes, core, lean.
What's that? Yeah. Woo.
Man, I feel like I'm barely leaning, and I'm gassing out after just a few reps at the top. Okay, third and final set of the pseudo planche lean push-ups. I switched up the camera angle so you can see it from a different angle. We're going to try and stick with everything I said from the last two sets. We're going to try and do a hold at the top, so maybe 2 to 3 second hold at the top of each rep to get more straight arm strength, straight arm conditioning. Here we go.
Shit.
And hold. Man. Whew. The hold makes it way more difficult. So rest as needed, at least 2 to 3 minutes. And we'll begin the next exercise. Our next exercise is going to be the L-sit to tuck planche hold. So far we've done band assisted planche holds where we use a band to make the movement easier. We've done pseudo planche holds where we keep our feet on the ground to make the movement easier. Now we're going to actually lift our entire body weight, no assistance, and put our body weight into our hands to condition what it actually feels like to lift up our whole body weight using the tuck planche. So the goal is to do 3 seconds of L-sit, control, no momentum, press the tuck planche, hold for 3 seconds, lower back to L-sit, come back again to tuck planche, and repeat for time. When we're in the L-sit, we're going to ensure we have good scapular depression for the entire portion of the movement, meaning we're pushing our scapula and our shoulders down, and from there, we're going to press into protraction into the tuck planche and try and get our hips high to parallel, maybe even slightly above parallel. So it should look something like this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. So this movement is great for going from a support hold position with straight arms and pressing from a support hold position into planche. Gives you great straight arm strength, scapula strength, scapula conditioning, and you work your core a bit during the L-sit portion. After reviewing the footage from my first set, I noticed that I wasn't getting my hips up as high as I would have liked to. So I'm going to really focus on pushing down with my scapula and shoulders, leaning forward, and allowing my hips to come up during this portion of the movement. In case you're wondering, the reason why I have these bands wrapped around my parallettes is because I like the grip, the texture the rubber bands have, the rubberized texture. Even, especially for handstand holds, I find it a bit easier to hold a handstand. But for regular push-ups and planche work, the metal works fine. But I just like this grip. Okay, here we go. Set number 2 of L-sit to tuck planche. Here we go. Good. Man, I am fatigued already. So we got one more set, and then we're gonna move on to the last exercise of this planche routine. Okay, it's time for my third and final set of L sit to tuck planche holds. Gonna give it everything I got. Really try and push down and actually push the set really hard. Not that the other sets weren't hard, they were hard, but this is gonna be really tough. Here we go. Good. Oh, dang. That is tough. We're gonna rest as needed, probably close to 3 minutes. And then we're gonna do our final exercise, which is going to be wall, assisted toes to wall handstand push-ups. For the handstand push-ups, I'm doing them against the wall, just to focus on really fatiguing the shoulder muscles, mainly the front delts, and shredding the muscle fibers so they grow back thicker and stronger, just so I have a bit more muscle in my shoulders, a bit more shoulder strength, and that should help with the planche holds and the planche push-ups. Toes to wall, handstand push-ups, and we're gonna take our sets until our form breaks down. We might even go slightly into broken down form, just to really ensure we are fatiguing our shoulder muscles adequately. So we're gonna strive for good form, but as we get fatigued, our form is gonna break down. That's just natural. So here we go. Kick up into a handstand. Find a good hand position and begin the handstand push-ups. Here we go. Yeah. Wait. Yeah. 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 There. Rest as needed and complete 2 more sets. All right, here comes set number 2 of the handstand push-ups. Only got 1 more set once we complete this set, so let's go. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. We're almost done, guys. Keep pushing through. All right, this is the 3rd set of our final exercise, handstand push-ups. Be sure to give it everything you got. Go to failure, go past failure to ensure you fatigue your shoulders, build more muscle, come back stronger for your next workout. Yeah. All right, there you guys have it. It's our full planche workout.
We have straight arm, banded raises. I'm doing this with a supinated grip. The goal is to just raise with your shoulders, protract your scapulas, elbows locked out, and condition your shoulder joint as well as your elbow joint. So there's really no max reps you have to do or no minimum reps. You just do it to warm up the body. So it's going to be taken in on a case-by-case basis for how many you have to do. So again, slow and controlled raise and just warm up the shoulders. Again, we're doing the planche raises, but this time we're doing it with the resistance band around our waist. So that's going to change the angle of the resistance. So again, elbows straight, protracted, scapulas, press, hold, back down. Now we have the wrists to warm up. So I'm going to start by leaning forward, wiggling the wrists, and stretching the wrists to extend backwards this way first. So do a few reps of that. Warm up, switch your wrists over, come backwards like this, wiggle them, make a fist, roll the fist around on the mat just like so. Grab your hands together, wiggle like this. A little bit more on the wrists. Get them nice and loose. Now that we're warmed up, we're going to jump into the first exercise of this planche routine. First up, we have scapula push-ups, superset with scapula elevation, depression shrugs. So we're going to train the forward-backwards range of motion first, and then we're going to train the up and down range of motion. So we're going to go for 10 reps of each. Get in a push-up position, scapula.
When doing the scapula shrugs, it's really important to keep your body in the position of a planche. That means keep your glutes squeezed, keep your core squeezed, keep your body in posterior pelvic tilt, keep your elbows straight, and only move the scapula up and down.
And then while you're in protraction, keeping your shoulders protracted, you're going to elevate and depress your scapula. So bring them up to your ears and then down to your back.
For this move, it's the same principle. Keep your body in a planche position, keep your scapulas protracted, and practice raising your shoulders up towards your ears and down towards your butt. The goal is to have full control in a large range of motion for this move.
All right. And rest for 2 minutes, and then repeat for 3 sets. Next up, we have straddle pike to straddle planche lean. So we're going to keep our legs straddled. We're going to have our arms over our head, and then we're going to lean forward into a planche lean. And the goal is to have good protraction, good depression, glutes engaged, core engaged, keeping that pelvic low and in a straight line. And we're going to go for a 5-second lean. Straddle.
For this move, it's more of the same. Keep that planche position and keep your muscles engaged just like you would in a real planche. The goal is not to lean as far forward as possible. The goal is to have the best form I can, even if it means not leaning as far forward. As a beginner, you might not be able to lean as far forward. Just focus on good protraction and good form, and build up that good form, and then eventually the lean will come with time.
Woo! That's a tough one. So rest for 3 minutes, and then repeat 3 sets. Next up, we're doing pike lean, feet slide into tuck planche. So I'm going to show you what that looks like, and we're going to try and hit 10 reps of this exercise. So you're going to start. Grip parallettes, pike position, lean into planche, and slide your feet into tuck. And hold for a second. Come back. That's 1 rep. We're going to go for 10.
This move is all about conditioning and building up muscular endurance. You're not trying to max out with this one. You are trying to build up volume and build up your time under tension and your endurance with the planche. Focus on good form and building up quality time under tension with good quality form.
Woo! All right, we're going to cut it there. No, I've never done that one before. That one's really tough. Rest 3 minutes, and then we'll start the next exercise. Next up, we have feet-assisted tuck planche to advanced tuck holds. So we're going to bounce between a tuck and to an advanced tuck with our feet on the ground. We're going to go for 5 reps, and on the 5th and final rep, we're going to do a 5-second hold. Again, I've never done this move before, so this is my first time trying it with you guys. We'll start with a tuck, planche lean, advanced tuck, tuck, advanced tuck, tuck, advanced tuck. For our last rep, 5-second hold.
Full planche. These are some of the best planche conditioning drills that you can do, and I'm training these on a weekly basis. Let's jump right into the video. First up, we have pike to lean slide into tuck planche. To begin this move, you start out in a pike. The key characteristics of a pike is to have your arms extended overhead and to have a fold at your hips. The reason to start out in a pike is to force your body into the proper planche form from the very beginning of the exercise. From the pike position, you begin to lean forward into a planche position. By starting in a pike, you lean through a plank position before you get into the planche lean. This allows you to focus on proper scapula protraction and proper core engagement before you even lean forward. This way, proper form comes before the exercise is loaded. From the planche lean, you slide your feet up into a tuck planche and hold for a second or two. Repeat for 10 reps total. Next up, we have straddle pike to straddle planche lean. This exercise is very similar to the first exercise. The goal is to engage proper scapula protraction and proper core engagement. Don't lean so far forward to where you lose protraction. Only lean as far forward as you can to maintain proper form. 5 reps total for this exercise. Next up, we have feet elevated tuck to advance tuck planche. So you will need an elevated surface for this exercise. You put your feet on the elevated surface and curl into a tuck planche. Proper core engagement, proper scapula protraction, and from there, you lean forward into an advanced tuck. This exercise is a great drill for bridging the gap between tuck and advanced tuck planche. 10 reps total for this exercise. Lastly, we have banded scapula push-ups. For this exercise, you want to emulate the proper form of a planche. That means proper core engagement and proper posterior pelvic tilt. You retract your scapula as much as possible, and then you protract it as much as possible. This strengthens the muscles responsible for holding protraction, and it is a super useful exercise for strengthening your planche game. You're going to want to rest for about 2 to 3 minutes between exercises and do a total of 3 sets per exercise. Like this video if you liked it, and subscribe to stay updated. Comment where you are on your planche journey down below.
What's up, y'all? It's Leonard with Zen Holistic Fitness, and in this video, we're continuing the planche masterclass. So if you saw my previous video, I showed you everything I know about training planche. This is part 2 of that video. So let's keep the momentum going. Get the pen and pad out. You're going to want to take notes on this because I'm giving you all the information about training planche properly, training it effectively, all the proper form cues with your scapula, your shoulders, the core engagement. This is going to accelerate your progress and have you getting full planche in no time. So with that out of the way, let's jump right into the video.
First up, we're training tuck planche press to handstand. I'm using a resistance band under my center of mass, under my waist, to assist me. You protract your scapulas hard in the tuck planche, and you use your front delts to press your body into a handstand, keeping your elbows locked the entire time. This is one of the most functional straight arm pushing exercises you can do, and it is a fundamental exercise for building planche strength. Next up is band assisted 90-degree holds. Again, I'm using a resistance band under my center of mass. You start out in a pike position with your arms overhead. This is to ensure proper form engagement. From the pike position, you lean into a planche lean and engage your proper protraction and proper posterior pelvic tilt. Whilst maintaining proper protraction and posterior pelvic tilt, you bend your elbows and hold the 90-degree position for time. I'm going for a 10-second hold. This exercise is key for building bent arm planche strength. You need to separate the bent arm strength from the straight arm strength to ensure you target your weaknesses individually. Next up is band assisted 90-degree handstand push-up negatives. You start out in a handstand position. I straddle my legs to ensure the band stays in place. From there, you slowly lower down through the 90-degree handstand push-up, going as slow as possible. The goal is to make one rep last for 10 seconds. This is another key exercise for building bent arm pushing strength, so you can eventually start doing the positive portion of the 90-degree handstand push-up. As you can see, I lowered down pretty quickly, which means I've got a lot of work with cleaning this movement up. The goal is to get slower and slower with it each time you work out and really work on that time under tension. Next up is planche lean push-ups. You start out in a pike position to ensure you engage proper form. From the pike, you lean forward into a planche lean and engage scapula protraction and posterior pelvic tilt. I'm going for 5 reps per set of this exercise. The goal is to do the push-up with control and with proper form, and to hold the top position with your elbows locked out for a second or two. This is one of the most foundational and the most fundamental planche exercises you can do, and it is a must-do for everyone in their planche journey. Lastly, we're doing planche lean scapula push-ups superset with one arm scapula push-ups. So you lean forward into a planche lean, scapulas protracted and posterior pelvic tilt engaged. From there, you shrug your scapulas back and forth between protraction and retraction. This further develops the scapula strength needed for holding the full planche. After the planche lean scapula push-ups, you jump right into one-arm scapula push-ups. This isolates the work of each scapula separately, so you can ensure each scapula and each shoulder blade is functioning properly. Doing one arm at a time allows you to work on any muscular imbalances in the body, and it is a great way to keep you strong, healthy, and injury-free. I'm doing 10 reps of the planche lean scapula push-ups, and then I'm doing 5 reps per arm of the one-arm scapula push-ups. Rest for 2 to 3 minutes between each set, and repeat for 3 rounds total. First up, we're doing tuck planche slides for 5 reps. You grab the bars, push your scapulas into protraction, causing your upper back to round. You push your hips down while engaging your core, causing posterior pelvic tilt. You squeeze your glutes and you slide your feet up into tuck planche. Notice how low I am keeping my hips. This move trains you to extend your legs back while maintaining proper core and glute engagement. Training the tuck planche slide will help you go from tuck planche to the advanced tuck planche without arching your back. Next, we're doing tuck planche slides, but instead of counting reps, we're going for 20 seconds. Switching from counting reps to a timed duration ensures you are hitting a specific amount of time under tension. I might be able to rush 5 tuck planche slides in 5 seconds, but if I go for a set duration, I am ensuring my muscles are under tension for a specific amount of time. Time under tension is an important variable in your workout program, and you must make note of how much time under tension you are experiencing in your workouts in order to ensure you are making progressive overload on a consistent basis. Next up is feet elevated, straddle pike to lean. We're going for 5 reps with a 3-second hold per rep. You start out in a pike position with your arms overhead. You then begin to lean forward into a planche lean. Make sure you engage strong protraction and keep your core engaged, glutes squeezed, and hips low. Lean forward as far as you can while maintaining good protraction and hold for 3 seconds. Press back up into a pike position and repeat for 5 reps total. The reason I'm doing this with my legs straddled is to further emulate the straddle planche position. Next up, we have pseudo planche push-ups. This is a bent arm pressing exercise, so we are strengthening our bent arm pushing strength with this exercise. You point your toes, keep your core engaged, keep your scapulas protracted, and lean forward into a pseudo planche position. From there, you start doing the push-ups. This exercise is one of the best progressions for strengthening your planche and unlocking the planche push-up. Lastly, we have scapula push-ups. For this exercise, you get into the top of a push-up position with your scapulas protracted. You then retract your scapulas, pulling your shoulder blades back. You then push your scapulas down into protraction and repeat. This movement strengthens the muscles responsible for keeping your scapula in protraction and will help you to build strength required for protraction in planche.
First up, we have tuck to advanced tuck planche extensions. I'm using a resistance band under my center of mass to assist me. So let's see what that move looks like. You start in the tuck planche, strong protraction, knees to chest. You extend to a tuck planche, to an advanced tuck, and come back in. Just like that. So we're going to go for 5 reps with this move. Strong protraction for the entire rep, guys. Chin pointed.
You do not want to rush into the advanced tuck planche. I spent so many months just focusing on tuck planche before moving on to the advanced tuck. You want to build a strong base before moving up in progressions. Otherwise, you will just be doing yourself more harm than good.
Oh! I'm going to have to add a second resistance band because this is not quite assisting my body weight enough. So using the bands allows you to scale the difficulty. Use a thicker band if it's too hard. Use a thinner band if it's too easy, and eventually you won't need a band at all. Now that we've finished the tuck to advanced tuck extensions, we're going to move on to the second move of this routine, and we're going for a tuck planche hold for 30 seconds. So for this move, I'm going to try and keep strong protraction for the entire 30 seconds. Keep my knees tucked to my chest as hard as I can. Keep my upper back rounded, almost like a turtle shell, and then just control my breath and try and hold for 30 seconds. So let's go. Keep that chin pointed. Protraction.
For the tuck planche, you really want to film yourself and be mindful of your scapula position. Take a close look at my upper back and notice how it's rounded and my shoulders are protracted down towards the ground. If there was any amount of retraction in my shoulders, I would be strengthening bad form and slowing my progress. You have to prioritize the proper form and proper engagement over everything in order to ensure you are strengthening good habits and good mind-muscle connection.
As always, rest for 3 minutes and do 3 sets per exercise. Next up, we're doing feet elevated, tuck to advanced tuck planche leans. So it's basically like a tuck planche, but we're keeping our feet on an elevated surface. So I'll show you what that looks like. We're going to go for 5 reps with a 5-second max hold at the end. So you start in tuck planche, you lean to advanced tuck with strong protraction, just like that.
Circle.
And then hold for 5 seconds. Woo. Next we have planche push-up leans. I'm doing this on an elevated surface. The goal is to emulate a planche lean, so I'm leaning forward. I'm keeping my hips rolled forward in posterior pelvic tilt. I'm keeping my hips low. I'm keeping protraction for the entire rep, even when my arms are bent. And then I'm pushing up to a lockout position at the top and really emphasizing the protraction for about a second or 2. So 5 reps with a 1 to 2 second pause at the top of each rep. So it'll look something like this.
For the planche lean push-ups, you really want to keep your hips low without making them sag. You are still squeezing your core and tightening your abs while rolling your hips forward into posterior pelvic tilt. The planche lean push-up is honestly one of the best exercises you can do because it mimics the planche so closely, and you can scale this move all the way up to full planche push-ups. All you have to do is slowly lean further forward over time.
Next up, we have handstand holds for 30 seconds. I'm doing this with my toes against the wall. For this move, you really want to lift your shoulders up overhead into extension. So you don't just want your shoulders up here. That will cause your back to arch. You want to get your shoulders up as high as you can. Roll the hips forward into posterior pelvic tilt, and you're almost drawing your navel inward towards your spine. So you're almost sucking your core in, pushing your scapulas up towards your ears as much as possible, squeezing with your fingertips, and trying to make your body look like a straight line, almost like a pencil sticking straight out of the ground. So something like this, again, we're going to go for a 30-second hold time.
For handstand holds, you really want to keep your hands close to the wall you're leaning against. The reason I am doing the handstand hold with my belly facing the wall is because this allows me to get in proper alignment with the handstand. You want to squeeze your fingertips into the ground and try and push your feet high and straight into the air. In order to push your feet up as high as possible, you have to keep your back straight and you have to push your scapulas towards your ears. You basically want to feel as though you're as tall as possible while doing the handstand hold. We are conditioning our body by holding this for 30 seconds. This feels like forever when you're under constant tension.
For the next exercise, we have feet elevated pike push-ups. So the pike push-up mimics the handstand push-up. My goal for the form with this exercise is to maintain a hollow body position. Just like when you're in a hollow body hold on the floor, your back rounds this way rather than arching. You don't want to arch the back this way. The goal is to keep your scapulas protracted, core engaged posterior pelvic tilts, and do the pressing, the overhead pressing in this range of motion, okay? So we're gonna go for 5 reps without letting our back arch.
When doing the pike push-ups, it's crucial to have adequate lower body flexibility and mobility. If your lower back, glutes, and hamstrings are too tight and unflexible, you won't be able to properly get into the pike position. Doing hamstring stretches and glute stretches, such as toe touches, are a great idea if you struggle to hold the pike position. You really want to film yourself and review your form after each set to ensure you have the proper form and proper technique.
For our last move of this routine, we're doing feet elevated straddle planche lean circuit. So I'm going to do 30 seconds of a wide grip planche, 30 seconds of a neutral grip, and 30 seconds of a close grip planche. I'm doing it with my feet straddled like this on an elevated surface. The goal with this move is not to lean as far forward as possible. The goal is to lean a bit far forward, but really focus on keeping the body high and creating that space in between your shoulders from that strong contraction. So if you have to lean less far forward, but it allows you to have stronger protraction and get your body in better alignment, do that. The goal is proper alignment and conditioning the body. So this is going to be a minute and 30 seconds of time under tension without rest. So like I said, 30 seconds wide grip, 30 seconds neutral grip, and then 30 seconds closed grip on a feet elevated surface. If y'all are ready, let's jump right into the first 30 seconds. Keep your hips low and just hold for time.
As you can see, I'm not leaning that far forward with this move. I'm focusing on pushing my scapulas and pushing my shoulder blades down towards the ground to round out my back and maintain proper protraction. The goal of this exercise is to condition the muscles responsible for maintaining strong protraction. By holding this protraction for a set amount of time under tension, we are stimulating our body in a novel way. This novel stimulus is a key driver for strength gains and muscle growth.
All right. I'm gonna switch. The elevated surfaces, bring the parallettes into neutral grip, and then continue.
My body is not used to holding protraction for such a long time, so by training this move, I am forcing my body to adapt and be more comfortable with proper protraction and proper planche form. With this move, you go wide grip, neutral grip, and close grip. By training the planche lean in different grips, you become a more versatile athlete and you gain further control over your scapula and its positioning. If 30 seconds is too long, start with a shorter duration and slowly build up over time.
All right. Last but not least, guys, bring the parallettes into close grip. Bring them into close grip. And then finish out for the last 30 seconds. Let's go.
This is a really long time under tension, so you will feel your core on fire by holding the proper posterior pelvic tilt and proper core engagement. That burning sensation you feel in your core is a sign you are pushing your body and forcing strength gains and forcing adaptations in the body. If you feel you are losing protraction, it's better to come down and rest and go back up again when you have strength. You do not want to be practicing bad form. It will only strengthen bad habits, which you do not want to do.
Holy cow. That is a crazy finisher. So for the first exercise, we're doing a modified version of the planche box drill. So basically on the planche box drill, you get 2 boxes. you rest your arms on the boxes and you press your body weight using your front delt. I don't have 2 boxes, so I'm using the dip bars, which you can use as an alternative. So you lay across them. You put your shoulders on one end of the dip bars. You grip the bars in a supinated grip, and you press up, and you hold, and you practice lowering the planche. You can do it in full. You can do it in tuck planche, straddle. You can do any variation of planche. And if you have an elevated structure overhead, you can even use a resistance band around your waist to assist you with this progression. So I'm going to do it unassisted. We're going to go for 5 reps of the hardest progression we can do. So I'm going to try halfway straddle planche. All right. So 5 reps of presses.
The next exercise we're going to do is tuck to advanced tuck extensions. I'll be using a resistance band to assist me. So you're going to start out in a tuck planche, and then you're going to extend into an advanced tuck. So when you're doing the advanced tuck, you really don't want your back to arch like this. You want to keep your back rounded, core engaged, posterior pelvic tilt. So instead of imagining kicking your legs back and just focusing on going out, imagine you're in the tuck planche and you're just letting your knees drop down, okay? So instead of kicking your legs back, that's gonna make your back arch. You're gonna go from tuck planche and you're just gonna let your knees go low, okay? And by letting them go low, you're gonna get into the advanced tuck with the proper body alignment, all right? So again, we're gonna go for 5 reps, and then we're gonna go for a 5-second hold time at the end of the 5th rep. So get your parallel centered under the resistance band, tuck planche, advanced tuck. And then hold for 5 seconds. You want to keep strong contraction the entire time and keep your chin pointed forward the entire time. You don't want your head to droop down. So film yourself, check on your form, strive for the best form you can achieve.
For our next exercise, we're doing pike, lean into 90-degree hold with a resistance band to assist us. So we're going to start out in a pike position, which is where your arms are overhead like this. And the reason we start out in a pike is because it forces your body to get into that proper planche alignment before you even start leaning forward, okay? So you get the form cue before your body is under tension. So from the pike, we're gonna lean forward into a planche lean, proper protraction, core engagement, glutes engaged, maintain that protraction, and then we're gonna bend our elbows and lift our feet off the ground into a 90-degree hold, and we're gonna hold for 10 seconds. So again, prioritize good form. If you need a thicker band, use a thicker band, but you really want to get the proper technique in. So pike position.
Circle.
Next up, we're doing planche lean push-ups to protraction. You guys know this by now. You know the form cues: posterior pelvic tilt, scapula's protracted, chin pointed, hip low. We're gonna lean into a planche lean as far as we can comfortably maintain protraction. Start doing push-ups. We're gonna go for 5 reps, and we're gonna hold the top for about a second for each rep, okay? So, toe is pointed, strong protraction, chin pointed, glutes squeezed, hips roll forward, lean forward. For our next exercise, we're doing feet elevated pike push-up. So you get yourself an elevated surface. In this case, I'm using my stall ladder on my calisthenics gym. So you elevate your feet, hold at your hips. You try and keep your body in a straight line, your torso, okay? You don't want your back to arch this way. You keep everything rounded. Keep your scapula contracted, and you press overhead in this range of motion, okay? So we're gonna go for 10 reps of the feet elevated pike push-up.
Brother man, stop that bad.
All right. There's 10 reps. And then we're going to move on to the final exercise of this routine. For the last exercise of this routine, we're doing a handstand hold for 30 seconds. I'll be doing this with my toes against the wall. So you're going to walk your feet up into a handstand. Keep your scapulas pushed as far overhead and as far towards your ears as you can get them. You squeeze your core, draw your navel inward, roll those hips, squeeze those glutes, point your toes, and you want to get your body basically looking like a straight line, almost like a pencil sticking out of the ground, okay? So you're gonna walk in and then hold for 30 seconds. All right, that will conclude the planche routine. This is gonna get your shoulders super strong. It's gonna get your core strong. It's gonna help you learn the planche. These are a lot of very unique, very specific planche exercises. So I hope you found something in this video useful. If you like this video, click the like button, comment what video you want to see next, subscribe to stay updated, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay tuned for more.